In a world dominated by sports podcasts, three friends team up to bring you another one. Driven by the incessant need to argue with one another, the Context Matters podcast will toe the line between what they believe and what they believe will piss off their friend. Listen and enjoy as the group chat you never wanted to read becomes the podcast you hardly want to listen to. The bits are long, the rage bait is real, and the context matters.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us on episode 6. I think I'm all out of number-related puns. Oh, wait, it's Chargers great Uchenna and Mosu with a pick 6 on Drake May. It's Wednesday, February 11th, and I'm feeling absolutely vindicated. I'm Bill, and with me, as always, are David and Jimo. How we feeling, boys?
I'm sad because football season is over.
Yeah, I'm also not excited for this podcast, but just want to do a shout out real quick to brother Seamus for coming up with that intro outro for us. So sounds great, and we're excited to have it.
If you got a chance, go ahead and listen to his music. You will not regret it.
Yeah, absolutely. He has some really good merch, too. I got a Brother Seamus shirt in my rotation. So big
Perfect.
shout out to Brother Seamus. On today's slate, we will be recapping the Super Bowl matchup, providing our way too early Super Bowl matchups for next year, announcing the results from our picks, props, and parlays, talking Hall of Fame and NFL awards. Then we'll be talking hot topics from the items around the NFL, and we end the show with a little segment called Anything Else, where we touch on, you guessed it, anything else. But first, a word about our presenting sponsor, Hyatt Trucks.
Are you tired of dealing with unreliable waste removal services, or worse, the weekly dump trip? Say hello to Hyatt Trucks Waste Removal, Southern New Hampshire's top choice for dependable disposal. Based in Milford, New Hampshire, they serve Hillsborough County and beyond, including Milford, Nashua, Bedford, Manchester, and Peterborough. They're a family-owned business with over 50 five-star Google reviews, are fully insured, and ready to handle any waste removal needs. They offer flexible roll-off dumpster rentals for any project, big or small, and are joining us just before your annual spring cleaning project. Hyatt offers comprehensive junk removal services, hauling away furniture, appliances, yard waste, and more. But let's talk about what can really make a difference in your week. Hyatt offers weekly curbside trash pickup to Milford, New Boston, Bedford, Jaffrey, Peterborough, New Ipswich, and surrounding towns beginning at just $40 a month. With provided barrels, options for recycling, and reliable pickups on time, every time. Ready to join the Hyatt Trucks family? Head to HIOTT-TRUX.com and sign up using code CONTACTS to let them know we sent you. Hyatt Trucks. You chuck it, we truck it, making waste removal simple and stress-free.
Thank you as always for that, JMO. I'm so excited for this offseason. We got some great things coming. We will be introducing video next week. So we will have a video form of this
Woo!
podcast. Please make sure to go reach out. Thank you. Please make sure to go check us out on YouTube, where you'll be able to watch that video live, or we will still have an audio version for Spotify, audio version for Apple Podcasts. But I'm trying to help this grow. We'll be introducing some short form content. We have some great plans again for the off season. But let's get into the Super Bowl recap.
Seahawks
right.
at Patriots.
What a barn burner.
Yeah, that was something.
David, you asked me last week what would make a good game for Drake May. I just
Yeah,
have
that
two
wasn't it.
words. Not that.
You're talking about, I mean, he threw for nearly 300 yards. I don't know what the issue
Yeah.
is on that.
You love
The
stats. There's a good
most
stat.
yards ever. The most yards ever in a quarter for Super Bowl history.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, he got there in the end. Every time that it looked like he was going to make some kind of comeback happen, it just kind of didn't for one reason or another, which is sad because I think Patriots fans definitely felt that. The touchdown to Mac Hollins, like just driving down the field and making that happen. There was a couple times where he was really kind of commanding the beginning of a drive and you're like, oh, hold on, like there's some life. We've been holding them to field goals this whole time. We have a chance, and then another play would pop off, and yikes, it did not get there in the end for them.
Yeah, yikes is right. What I said, like, on the podcast last time was whoever had 4 and was able to stop the rush and get pressure was gonna win the game, and the Seahawks won the game with their 4, and they didn't get out of that defense the whole time, so it led to a lot of problems. It fell into what the Patriots were trying to do, and,
Hmm.
yeah, it just wasn't good for, Drake May at all. And I think, like you
No.
said, like, we're so used to seeing comebacks because, like, we're used to seeing Brady, like, march a team down the field, and then, like, like, it'll take that little spur, one little play here, and it'll just chain reaction to a comeback, and then
Yep.
it's yeah, but we
Yeah.
just couldn't get
So,
momentum.
and David, you sent in the group chat, like, I think I was giving you crap when I believe when it was 19-0.
I mean
And sent in the group chat, you sent 28-3, to which I said Tom Brady isn't coming out of that tunnel. And I think I've solved the enigma that is Drake May. You know those slider games that you can play where like you click a slider on or flip a light switch up and it automatically like knocks another light switch down because you can only have so many up and you can't have
Yeah.
all of them down, all of them up or all of them down. I think Drake May is a pick 2 out of 3 quarterback. He can either play against a good team, move the football, or protect the football. He can only do 2 of the 3 because we saw him move the football very well in that fourth quarter, but that was right when he stopped being able to protect the football.
Hmm.
So I have
Yeah.
never seen him play against a good team and move the football and be able to protect the football and do all 3. So I think we've solved the riddle.
Well, you've never been able to see him do it because he's only played like 25 games. I think that, like, while that is true, I will lead with that. He did not do the things that he was supposed to in totality. I think that Patriots fans still have to be excited about it. You definitely have something moving forward here. He was obviously very accurate in the regular season for his deep ball passes. So I think that those things can get cleaned up. There's definitely, I'm sure all offseason there's going to be work on making sure that he can get the ball out faster, but also there's going to be work on, the receivers coach and everybody out there, tight ends coach, making sure that he has options available to him within that 3-second period as well.
So I think a lot of, like, what we're used to seeing with the Patriots offense is obviously Brady running it, but with that being said, it's the time in that system. I don't think Drake May has enough time in the system to really defeat these top elite defenses because it is a tough system to run, and then it doesn't he didn't have a lot of options, which I was really surprised with the game plan itself in that aspect. Like, on those 3rd and longs, because every 3rd down was pretty long, it was like the receivers ran to the defense instead of, like, option routes. Like, obviously, they don't have Edelman, they don't have Gronk. That's a big aspect to, like, Brady's success.
Yeah.
Drake may call I think he was just overwhelmed in the fact he had to call the line, which way they shift, which they always shifted left to help out Will Campbell and the left guard, 2 starting rookies. So they got
Hmm.
owned all game, and then that's when that blitz from the right side always gave him trouble because everything was shifting left, where, yeah, Brady would figure that out a lot sooner, make the line call right, and then find his hot read and just do what he has to do. I think he just got in the mindset of trying to make it all back in one play, and he had that
Yeah.
pretty early on.
Well, right, and when he had that deep pass to triple coverage or whatever that Matt Collins broke up from being an interception, that was one where, like, I get it if you especially if you have single coverage or whatever and you feel the pressure, you wanna throw it, but the ball was a little underthrown. It was a far throw, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it was a little underthrown, but there was too many people there where you're right, a more experienced quarterback would be throwing it away or before he takes I don't remember if that was a 3rd down attempt or not, but um, a lot of times you'll see quarterbacks throwing it away and live for the next play. And Drake May wants to do it. I don't know if you guys saw it the way that I did, but it seemed like early in the game he kept wanting to run and then didn't, almost like he took a step forward and then was like, "Oh yeah, coach told me not to run." Which I thought was like, there's nothing that's come out or that's nobody said that or anything like that, but just with my eye test, it looked like early in the game he was really like, no, wait, I'm gonna hang out in the pocket, and it didn't. That didn't work for him. But his scrambles were like when he did decide to run, he almost decided to run a little too late as well.
So I think one key to that though, and this was so I was actually watching Kirk Benkert, who's a former quarterback. I was watching his breakdown. I sent it in the group.
Who?
I'm sure David didn't watch
Packers
it.
Yeah,
great.
I've seen it
Uh,
before, so
but it was great. It was an 11-minute rundown. But I was actually seeing a lot of those plays you were talking about, JMO, and I think it actually probably was a good decision not to run on some of those.
Mhm.
Early on in the game, specifically early on in the game, and then they gave up on it because they were rushing for. They were also spying Maya with the linebacker. So I think
okay.
he was probably scrambling, seeing the spy, and then deciding not to run and tuck and look for another option. But that's
Yeah.
your again getting back to that Kurt Bankert breakdown. I mean, there were dump offs and wide
Yeah,
open
that's what yeah.
receivers all game long. Like, there were a lot I mean, there were throws he missed that, like, got highlighted, like that Austin Hooper throw, that was
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a game breaker.
miserable, but
Yeah.
there were dump offs that were there that and Kurt, as he was breaking down the game, was like, "These are the plays that made Tom Brady his like,
Yeah.
how special he was being able to just take those dump offs when that's what the defense was giving him. Now, I'll play Monday morning quarterback all I want and say I also would have came here if he had a good performance by doing that and been talking about like how, oh, it was all yak, oh, it was all this, all that. So I'll be completely genuine and
Yeah,
say that.
check down
But there
Charlie.
were,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there were checkdowns
Yeah.
available, and he just
And
wasn't taking them.
yeah, another
Mhm.
thing, like, schematically too is, like, what I'm surprised they didn't do more of is if, like, Seahawks bringing pressure you can't block and then manning the wide receivers, why wouldn't you just swing out a running back or a tight end that's
Right.
unblocked? You know, that's
Mhm.
unaccounted for?
Yep.
Like, that's what, like, obviously Brady, like the last
Yeah.
time they played the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, Shane Vereen was MVP. He got, like, 11 catches as a running back for I don't know how many yards, but it was probably, like, 50
Right.
yards, you know? Nothing,
Yeah.
like,
James
super
White as
impressive, but
well.
yeah, so Drake May
They
just doesn't know that death by a million paper cuts sort of mentality of
Right.
winning a game.
I was also surprised that there weren't more screens thrown by the Patriots
Yeah, I think they
because
threw that one to Diggs, like, early, and that was it.
yeah, exactly, and,
And that
like,
was on
I
3rd and 17.
Yeah, it was like
right,
a
yeah.
throwaway play.
Right, pretty much. They're just trying to get a little extra field position. Now, yeah, I was surprised that there weren't more. Now, certain teams will draw up more screens than they should ever throw. Like, trying to think off the top of my head who I see do it a lot. The Packers do it a lot. The Bears do it a lot. The Bears
Yeah,
do
the
it a
Bears do,
lot.
yeah.
And it's not just screens to DJ Moore. It's also Colston Loveland and
Yeah.
Cole Kmet. Like they're getting everybody involved. I don't think that you should be throwing the ball to Hunter Henry on a screen. However, when you have Pop Douglas and Keishon Boutte and these guys that Kyle Williams, like you have those guys, I'm surprised there wasn't a couple more wrinkles thrown in there because that's like a very obvious way to help with pressure and things like that. And the D-backs from what I was watching from Seattle, they weren't really pressing wide receivers all that hard, especially because they didn't really need to. And it's also not really their calling card. So I thought that that could have been a little bit more effective had they tried it. The other thing that I'm kind of confused about is that coming out of college this year, we obviously had quite a few rookie running backs that were slated to make a big splash, and a lot of them did. But the biggest thing with Travion Henderson was everybody could not stop talking in the preseason about how good he is
Oh,
at pass blocking. Like, number one pass blocking running back by a mile coming out. And like, they never have him on the field, at least for most of the postseason. They got him more involved in the Super Bowl, which was good. But I really didn't see him pass block at all.
yeah,
And the
he's
few times
not.
that I did during the regular season, he wasn't making the play happen. So I don't really
Stevenson's a
understand what
dog,
happened.
though.
Yeah, Stevenson's
Ramondre is. He will put his
well-rounded.
body on the line. And what's nice about having him on the field is that you don't know if it's pass or run just based on him because he has the ability to catch the ball and run. Not that he does it all the time. So at least they weren't selling out by like, oh, Travion's here. It's going to be a run play or pass play or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I expected more screens and I expected more out of Travo when it came to pass blocking and throwing a new wrinkle in that.
Yeah. One thing you mentioned while I'm thinking about it, you said, um, the punter. I know you didn't say that, but the punter for the Seahawks field position, that's what he said. The
Field
punter for the
position, yep.
Seahawks was unreal. Like,
Deadly.
watching, a like, the clips of, like, his little rugby style kicks and their, like, line drives, and they're just that's another thing too, is obviously, it's tough to drive, like, 90 yards every time you touch the ball, and that's they probably did that, like, 4 or 5 times, like, downing it inside the 10.
Yeah. Speaking of finding
especially
it
when you
tough
have
to
60
drive,
yards pass.
Billy, do you have
I was
anything
gonna
you'd
say,
you'd like
I was gonna say, especially when you have 60 yards passing before garbage time. I agree. It's hard to drive
to
90 yards with that.
Yep. I don't know. I don't know. I wish a lot of different things for this game. At least it was always somewhat close in the sense that they just kept taking field goals. But I mean, Myers was not going to miss any of those field goals because number one, they were really close. He really wasn't stressed out too much. But at the same time, he's a very accurate kicker. So
Yeah, he was
good
good.
for him. And it seems like with Sam Darnold, we didn't see a lot of big plays. Obviously, he had some shots that didn't get there for one reason or another. But I think he was coached to be a game manager, like we talked about in the last episode, and that's the role that he played, and he played it well. I don't think that if they needed him to go out and play Superman, I think he might have been able to, but we really didn't see him have to. So it's a very simplified offense for him.
I actually almost disagree. He
Okay.
had a bunch of tight window throws that were
Hmm.
inadvisable, honestly. Like, he had a bunch of tight window throws that were completed that were a step away from being picked, and he had a few tight window throws that were incompleted, and the closest person to catching it was a Patriot.
Yeah.
And then he had that bomb to Rashid Shaheed that might have been the greatest non-interception play by a cornerback I've seen in
Yeah.
a long
Yeah.
time, with Christian Gonzalez laying out and just getting his fingertips on that. That
Yeah.
was amazing. So, like, I don't even think he meant to play like a game manager. I think
Hmm.
you look at the stat line and you think, "Oh, wow, it must have been a game manager. No turnovers, but not great stats." But I think he was making the throws. I think the Patriots defense was just as good as they have been. And
Yeah.
I feel bad for the Patriots defense. They balled out,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and
they did.
your offense was just giving the ball back to the Seahawks repeatedly. So they just had to keep
Yeah.
stopping them, and they kept stopping them. I mean,
Yeah,
both
that's fair. I
touchdowns
mean,
were both touchdowns were a pick six and then a short yardage off the
right.
my fumble. Like, they didn't give up
Yeah.
an actual drive touchdown.
That's true. Speaking of 0 turnovers for the game, the Seahawks, we were talking about this stat. They're the first team to win a Super Bowl that had 0 turnovers in the entire postseason. So that was
Wow.
also very impressive to see. So good on them for, doing what they need to do to win the games. And, um, when you have a good defense and you don't turn the ball over, easier said than done, but it does make everything else a little bit easier.
Yeah, back to Sam Darnold real quick. What really
Hmm.
surprised me about his style of play was he was so elusive. Like, the Patriots
Yeah.
actually did a really good job of, like, pressuring him with, like, beating the lineman and then getting to the quarterback. They just couldn't get him down. Like,
Yep.
there's probably, like, 5 times where he had, like, a free rusher in his face, like, whether it's Barmore, Milton Williams, or one of the edge guys.
Yeah.
He just put a little juke on, just used his athleticism, which who really knew he had that in his bag, you know?
Right.
And yeah, he
Yeah.
just avoided the massive sack.
Yeah, and, I can see a lot of people were mad about, the tackling jobs on, Kenneth Walker, and obviously there were
He's a
definitely some
beast.
there were some missed tackles there, but again, I went into this saying Kenneth Walker has one of the highest missed tackle rates in the NFL, so when you look at it from your TV, you don't always get to see, like, if football's a game of inches, the little moves that he makes, the jukes, the head moves, the everything like that, that's why the Patriots were missing tackles. They're not historically a bad tackling team. So, like, I can forgive them not being able to bring down Ken Walker because nobody in the NFL seems to be able to do it. But
His
when it came to
agility is
Sam
next
Darnold,
level.
yeah, oh, absolutely. As it pertains to Sam Darnold, though, it feels like they definitely could have gotten to him more. But when they did everything else right on the defensive end, what else can you ask for?
Yeah, when they needed a play, they went to Ken Walker. And at
Mhm.
halftime, what do you have, like 98 yards rushing? That's
Yeah.
absurd.
Yeah.
He finished with 135, so the Patriots did a good job second half, like, buckling him down a little, but yeah,
Yep.
every big play, explosive play was all through the running game, which obviously is pretty surprising for a Patriots fan.
I mean, what
Yeah.
amazed me is, like, even the even the touchdown to AJ Barner was like I don't know if it
Yeah,
was it was a run play or a
yeah, it was
run
a play
run
action,
down
yeah.
is what I mean. Like,
Yep.
yeah, well, and I just mean like it was a snap where like pre-snap I would have told you, okay, 95% chance this is a run play. Like they should
Yep.
just run the ball, run the clock out. You got Kenneth Walker, so like I think he actually didn't get even more rushing yards more because they weren't necessarily just running out the clock. They
Yep.
were actually pretty aggressive with the ball late,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Yeah.
So, like
Those were good.
it wound up with that really awkward play where Sam Darnold like did the play action and then just like laid down because he realized that there was pressure there and he didn't want the ball to go incomplete. Like it was smart.
Yep.
It was just super
Well,
awkward. I think that was the only
he
sack he took. But
yeah, he either turned the wrong way or Ken Walker went the wrong way. Either like you could tell that that was not how the play was supposed to develop. I saw that and I was laughing too. Um, one of the other things was at the end of the game, I remember telling my mother-in-law who won some good money on squares, good for her. But when we were talking about the final, uh, for the final score, I was like, don't even worry about. I was like, if Ken Walker breaks off a run, I was like, he's gonna go down at the one or whatever because of the fact, like that's what you do, right? And so then I had to explain to everybody in the room. I'm like, they're like, well, at that point they'd be up by so much. Like, of course they're gonna score the touchdown. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand football. Like when it's past the 2-minute warning and there's no timeouts left, like you go down because then you can run the ball out and secure a victory.
the
Like, yes, I
clock's more important
understand.
than the lead. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Right.
there's if you run in that touchdown, there's a 0.00001% chance the Patriots can come back. But if you go down with the ball, there's a 0% chance. So I'm like, I know it seems negligible or whatever, but that's why they would never do it. And I finally got everybody on board. They're like, okay, we understand it. And then he runs in for the touchdown, which ends
Yeah.
up getting called back, but made me look like an absolute idiot because I swear to God, I could see it in his eyes where like, should I go down here? But nah, because then
Yeah.
he slowed down and then he just walked into the end zone anyway. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
you're
disregard
absolutely
everything I
right.
just
He
said.
should have got down.
Yeah,
I
you
Yeah.
just don't know
I was
ball.
thinking the same thing, but yeah,
Apparently I don't know ball. So, but because the touchdown was called back, she won the money, so everything's good. Happy
he
for
just
her
wanted
there,
the
but
MVP.
exactly, right? So I thought that was funny. Like, I was like, every football guy in the world is going to corroborate my story. And they're like, yeah, whatever you say. And then runs in for a touchdown. I'm like, all right, never mind. I
Uh,
don't know ball. Oh well. Speaking of bets, I'm not going to do that ever again. I'm done betting. That was silly. For those of you who don't know, so obviously I had my bets on the game, and we can go over that later for what I picked on the parlay. But I had so many bets that in order to keep track of them, I had an Excel spreadsheet that I was checking off as we went, and there was a lot more red X's than there were green check marks. Let's just say that.
Yeah, a lot of unders this game,
Yep.
which I hate taking it under because I want guys to succeed, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it was weird too because like certain things that you're like, oh, if it's going to be a defensive game and blah blah. I did the dumb thing where I parlayed too many things where it was like I was looking for Jake Bobo to catch a ball, and you know what? That's on me. Um,
Who?
exactly. So, but there were certain scenarios where like you took the under on Drake May's passing yards, and all of a sudden you wake up the next day and you're like, wait a minute, what? And so
yeah,
like,
I mean that one hit in spirit. I mentioned it earlier. Like that was
yep,
all garbage time. I messaged our group chat when they were down more than two scores in the fourth quarter, and he still had 60 yards passing. I said, mark it here
yep,
because he's gonna like go and throw for like some crazy yardage stat. This is his actual stat line was 60 yards
mhm,
because everything after this point just doesn't matter. And it doesn't. And I just think it's hilarious that he got his record of most passing yards in a quarter in Super Bowl history in
right,
garbage time, who's it's interesting for a guy whose entire MVP case was that the other guy was stat padding. So I just thought
yeah,
that was kind of
Well, would you rather have that
poetic
or
justice.
like last year's Super Bowl where the Eagles pulled all their players and then Patrick Mahomes starts going off?
yeah,
I don't blame Drake May for actually throwing the
Yeah, no,
passes,
but I'm just asking
obviously,
like
like,
what's worse
right.
because I felt like last year
Um,
the Eagles should have
both.
just kept everybody in and just laid it on and just kept it, but then they pulled
yeah,
their safeties and they pulled like a corner and then like yeah, they get beat deep. Like yeah,
yep. All right, everybody back in. But yeah, way she goes. I guess it is what it is. Well, I think we pretty much beat this game over the head. Do you guys have anything else you want to end with?
Ooh, yeah. I don't. Well, David, maybe you go first because I'd like to beat it over the head a little bit more.
No, yeah, Billy can go. He's got some stats. I don't have no notes for this, no stats, no nothing, because I'm just getting ready for it.
Yeah, just I just want to take a little bit of a victory lap. So I'm gonna rattle off some stats here that I looked up just because stats are fun.
Sure, why not?
Drake May this postseason run had a negative 41.2 combined EPA, which was also the stat that everyone was trying to get people to buy into to win the MVP, which is the worst in NFL recorded history for a postseason run. He is 1-8 if he throws more than 35 passes in a game. I'd like to point out that 44-year-old Philip Rivers did a lot more against this defense than Drake May did. Drake May owned 3 of the top 10 worst passing performances in this playoffs. The Patriots, I brought up last week that their points per possession in the playoffs was lower than the worst team in the league, Las Vegas Raiders. It actually got worse, and they are now worse than the infamous Browns team that went 0-16. And I guess that's on my stats end, but I'd love to keep beating this dead horse until it ends. I was absolutely right. The defense carried the dead body of this offense as far as they could, and they finally got too tired to carry them further.
Diggs ain't a 1. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Mac Hollins ain't a 2. Hunter Henry ain't even a top 5 at this point.
Okay, 5 teams have a top 5 tight end. Like, come on. That's so disingenuous.
I would not go that far.
Did you see his blocking?
There's 2 good tight ends in the world.
Right. I don't disagree, but I guess my point is, like, you can't just say, like, he doesn't have any weapons because he doesn't have a top.
You said that all year.
Like, not everybody has a top 5 tight end. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say top 5. I meant top 5 as in, like, he's not like your 5th best weapon. He might be 5.
Yeah.
Like, he's a top half of the league tight end.
Yeah, just like Diggs is a top half in the league wide receiver.
I think Diggs is a number 1 receiver. He is a top 32 NFL receiver. We don't need to get into this again. I know that he got broken up with at halftime. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, that was good.
But but he is a top 32 NFL wide receiver. He's a number 1.
He wasn't even the best receiver on the Texans.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, Nico Collins is a number 1. So yeah, I agree.
Oh my god, I love Nico Collins. Yeah, the breakup was the breakup was fun. That was fun to follow on Twitter for anybody else that was. I mean, X, if for anybody else that was involved with that. But
it's
you know what
Twitter.
they say?
It'll always be Twitter.
Yeah, when one door closes, another door opens. So as sad as it was to see them break up at halftime, we also got to see somebody get married at halftime. So you know what? That was pretty fun. Like I said, it's that's how the world works. If you were turning into Turning Point in their halftime show, there's probably also people getting married over there. The difference is that those people were related. But outside of that, I mean, either way, you got some love in the air. So that was nice to see. Sorry, Stephon Diggs.
Wait, you don't like to see an old Kid Rock doing his set from 30 years ago?
I would rather see
Chris Rock sing.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was Megan Rapinoe for a second up there.
Oh man, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into that. Go USA.
I mean, I did tune into that, but not for like politics. It's just, I mean, the country was. Yeah, I like it more, but because like I said to you guys, like during it, like I like Kendrick Lamar a lot, and that I was not a fan of his last Super Bowl. He didn't do like any relevant songs.
He didn't play the songs you like.
Well, what? Just like his greatest hits? He just played like the last songs of his last record.
Not Like Us is probably his most streamed song by now. So
yeah, I do like when they're playing some of their big. I mean, I do like Bad Bunny, and there was some songs that I was hoping was going to be there and wasn't. But it is what it is. I will say, Bad Bunny sounded really good, which has been a nice change. Like, it's taken a long time for them to figure out the acoustics in a Super Bowl because, and maybe it was just the stadium, but a lot of the times the acoustics are so bad. So
It
you know,
might
I
have
thought
been
it
that he
was
had that head mic instead of like a traditional mic, so it was like
right.
right up next to his mouth, like
Yeah.
and moving along with him.
So that was at
Uh,
least good. I thought overall it was a fine halftime show. So
Green
yeah,
Day.
that was
You guys
fun.
see the Green Day before the show or
I
before the
did,
Super Bowl?
yeah. That
They
was good.
actually, they played really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Unfortunately, he looks like a 40-year-old lesbian, but
I think
that's
he's
besides the point.
surprisingly older
Older
than
than
that.
that? Yeah, he was probably
I'm
40 when we
definitely
were kids.
right. I'm definitely not Googling it right now. I'm just going to come out and say off the top of my head that he's
still
actually
gotta be, like
53.
I was
He's
gonna say, yeah.
53 years old.
Well, he looked good for his age for a middle-aged lesbian.
Yeah. Good for
He
him.
looks like someone you'd really hate to like sideswipe their Subaru
Uh-huh.
Crosstrek. So
2019. Yeah, Subaru
specific.
Crosstrek.
Oh man. All right. Well, how did we do, Mr. MC? What do we I mean, I guess narrator wouldn't be the right term. Host, but I don't want to call you a host. Whatever you are. How did we do on our picks? That's what I want to know.
so on our picks this week, obviously we only had the one game. Jamo and I tied for first this week. We were right.
Let's go.
David and Grok were wrong. The cumulative record so far through the playoffs, and this will be the end of the record for the year. So Jay might go get a wrestling belt or a trophy or whatever your heart's desire is, because
Oh,
you
the guy
came in
who
first
buys
place.
himself fantasy football trophies, you want him to buy another trophy?
It was
First
a
of
ring,
all,
not a trophy.
yeah. First of all, it
Yeah.
was a ring, and I didn't just buy myself one ring. I bought myself two by accident. So
Because
if
he couldn't
somebody,
choose the color he likes.
yeah, if somebody needs an extra fantasy football championship ring, let me know. I got you covered.
I'll take it for next year for our Context Matters Fantasy Football League.
Ooh, we should do
But
that. Get some listeners in.
I
and-
agree. Get some listeners
boy.
in. Like, I completely agree. Loser has to do the hot chip challenge, because I'm actually kind of sad I don't
Yeah,
get to
I'm
do
sad
the
too.
hot ones and hot chip challenge. I'll come up with another way to do it.
When you guys do your
Okay.
little basketball game, we can like
I know. I was
film
going to say
some
maybe this
highlights
way the
and then
basketball game does it.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
So for those who don't know, I'm gonna run Jamo's absolute world star him 11-0 in a one-on-one
you try
basketball game
not to
this summer.
swear is hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
And we've been talking about this for like, I don't know, like 6 months at this point.
Yep.
But I'm gonna run him 11-0.
Yeah.
And
To give everybody a backstory on that,
A little
so
context.
obviously, yeah, a little context. So Bill has been playing basketball competitively for many years now. He played all throughout high school. He did play in college for a little bit. I just started learning a couple weeks ago, but I like the improvement that I've seen. Sometimes I can even bounce it with my other hand. So that's the setup. But I'm gonna see what I can do. With that being said,
oh, you think you're so funny.
the real
Thanks,
question
baby.
is,
Brett, if
Who's
anyone
gonna-
wants the real setup, I haven't touched a basketball court in, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years. Other than I did play one-on-one game like 2 years ago and won, for the record. I think I'm
Wow.
undefeated one-on-one.
Against
for the
who?
record, but
Your mom?
our Xbox friend.
yeah, our Xbox friend Ben. Shout out Ben.
Oh,
And he's actually like, he's pretty nasty, but you know, I just don't
Apparently
lose
not.
one-on-ones. I don't lose one-on-ones.
he's
Oh my
nasty,
God.
except I beat him.
I don't lose
Oxymoron.
one-on-ones. I don't.
I've played basketball for years, but
There was
really,
a
I
really
don't
good.
lose one-on-ones.
I
Anyway,
remember a specific time where you lost a one-on-one. The difference is it was you in a car and them in a car. But
I think I won that. I don't know. I sent you the pictures. I think I won that too.
yeah, I
Depending
guess
how
that's
you look
true.
at it.
Perspective's important.
Anyway, so getting back to the important part, Timo went 11-2 throughout these playoffs.
Let's go.
That's actually a very impressive record. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
good for you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I really appreciate that. It's good. Thanks.
We are going to retire this part of the picks until next year.
Yep.
I think next year, I think we're gonna do like straight up picks for every game. So throughout the season, so
Yeah.
we'll have a pretty large sample size. That'll be fun to look back on. David came in solo second place at 7-6,
Woo!
and
There you go. Way to
And I
place.
am refusing to do a last place speech because I didn't come in last place. We tied. Grok and I tied at 6 and 7.
That's bad.
You tied with a robot that you can decide pretty much what his output's going to be with your input. That makes you loser twice. I'm pretty
I
sure.
do not decide what his output is. I actually, you know this. I gave him the input to pick this game, the Super Bowl, and
You
he
just
picked the
assume his gender?
Patriots. Yeah, I always call Grok him. It's a
Wow.
manly sounding name. I don't know. We can call Chat GPT girl. I'm not being whatever.
Ye-
Anyway,
That makes sense.
anyway,
Chatty.
I was prompting Grok on picking the Super Bowl, and Grok picked the Patriots, and he said, because of your IP address, go Patriots. So one, that's kind of creepy.
That is
Two,
creepy.
I was like, can you not factor my IP address in it? I actually want a straight up answer, and it still chose the Patriots. So the one time that I noticed that it might have been picking a victim
Yeah.
based on something that I influenced, I did correct it. Although I
Yep.
did have it pick bets that were fun for the Super Bowl because that would have been
That's fair.
fun. But anyway,
Well-
so that's the standings. JMO, you have anything to say as the victor?
No, I just want to say when it comes to pick'ems, I am your guy. Unless, of course, we are talking about the spread. As I said before, I have not been able to pick a game correctly when factoring in the spread ever in my entire life, even once. It's actually insane.
Well, I think that's why they come up with the spreads because picking
Yep.
would be far too easy. Says the guy who just went 6 and 7. Um, but so getting into, I think something that would be fun to pick, looking into next year. I'm not going to hold you to this, because I think
Sure.
we'll have a much better idea of the landscape after free agency and after the draft. But I kind of wanted to get our ideas on a way too early Super Bowl 61 prediction. So one team from the AFC, one team from the NFC, and who you think winds up taking the Super Bowl. So I'll pass that over to you, Dave. Super Bowl 61, who you got?
All right. So I like out of the NFC, I picked them this year to represent the NFC. You got to go Rams, I think. I believe everybody's coming back. I don't know who their free agents are. Their defense is trash, though. That's the only worry. So, but still, I'll go Rams and probably Broncos because I think they're going to be the best team. And another year, Bo Nix with Sean Payton, and I did that 100%.
Bo Nix?
Wow.
Bo Nix?
Dude, that's what Dr. Oz had, and was it that guy?
Yeah, he needs to see a doctor. He's
Yeah,
broken right now.
he picked the Rams Broncos this year, so Billy's
Yep.
looking up some stats, I think.
Yeah, don't
No,
worry
I'm
about
actually
him.
not. I forgot to prompt, or I just thought now that I should prompt Grok on who he's going to pick, and I am doing that off to the side. So for those
Perfect.
of you
Well, this
who
should be.
we said we're getting video next week, but we
But I
already
mean, I
have
did
barely
wanna
seen
choose the
each other
Bears
'cause we're
too.
testing it. But
Yeah.
The Bears are gonna be really good next year.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Honestly, I think the Broncos offense could work. Having J.K. Dobbins back or whatever running back that they pick, I don't think they're going to go that far, but I think that they're definitely going to be a fun team to watch. And it'll be interesting to see how they use their wide receivers yet again because they're similar to the Patriots. I guess they have Cortland Sutton, but outside of that, it's just a hodgepodge of whoever's week it is, which I don't think is a successful recipe, and yet somehow people manage to keep doing it. But I think Pat Bryant, their rookie this year, could really do something, so he'll be fun to watch. So I've got on the AFC side, it's funny because you picked the Broncos. I think we're all going to have somebody from that division. I'm going to pick the Chiefs on the AFC
I
side.
was close to picking the Chiefs again, yeah.
Yeah, and I understand. So Patrick Mahomes, for those of you who don't know, got injured in the regular season, probably not going to be back until it'll kind of depend if they start playing well at the beginning of the season. I'm sure they'll hold them off till game 4, game 5, something like that. Maybe even longer if they're able to get some wins. But if they're losing heavily right off the bat, they might really try and get him in there week 2, week 3 if he's able to do it. But they just have a really complete team. Their wide receiver core is a little weak, but I think that that's something that they can figure out. Andy Reid is phenomenal when it comes to coaching an offense, and their defense is solid. So I like the Chiefs there, and I really like it because of the stability of their coaches and their ownership and their willingness to go out and get players. So I like the Chiefs there. On the opposite side, it's not quite as stable, but I'm gonna pick the Detroit Lions. It's tough because they play in such a hard division. However, I think that they have just one of the most talented rosters. Obviously, Jameer Gibbs is insanely talented as a running back. He can make plays that nobody else can. They've got Sam Laporta, one of the few tight ends that are real difference makers in this league. Jamison Williams, if he can get some more consistent snaps and get the ball like he did at the second half of this year, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then obviously, Sun God Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was just like everybody's favorite receiver at times. That guy's just awesome. So I think that they've got a really good shot. So I'm going to say Chiefs Lions.
Yeah, I can see both those teams going. What I like about I almost chose the Chiefs because Eric Bieniemy's back as their offensive
Yeah.
coordinator. Patrick Mahomes has been playing way too loose in the past like couple years, and I think that's been ever since they lost Bieniemy. Like his problems he's had as a coach is he coaches too hard, which is why he's never been a head coach. I
Mhm.
mean, that's what Mahomes needs. He needs somebody to tell him to play within the system instead of like trying to Superman every play. So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think I think the Chiefs are gonna if he comes back healthy, I think they'll be a team to
Yep.
beat.
Bill, what you got?
Who you picking? Oh my god. Let me guess.
So I actually, uh, this will be the second time I reference a song by an artist that we already referenced. I think it's going to be Poetic Justice. I mean, if anyone ever
Nice.
had um, had a theory that the NFL might be scripted, I think this might be the year that it actually looks like it could really be scripted. Because a few years ago, we had a home team win the Super Bowl for the first time ever. I think it
Yes.
was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Yep.
I think we're gonna have the first ever home versus home team matchup in the Super Bowl. So for those who don't know, Super Bowl 61 was announced that it's going to happen at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Two teams call SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles home. I think the Rams are coming out of the NFC, and I think the Los Angeles Chargers are coming with the AFC.
That's the Chicago pick.
Whoa.
I also
That's
think
crazy.
it's funny that JMO said he's picking the Lions even though they're coming out of such a tough division, and yet all three of us picked an AFC
AFC West.
team coming out of the same division.
Two things can be
That's also
true. There's more
interesting.
than one hard division in
Oh, I
the
agree.
NFL.
I just thought it was funny. I thought it was interesting. But I think that would actually be a really cool matchup, and I think the NFL
Oh yeah,
would
wicked
love
cool.
to see it. I,
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but it's just funny, like you say, like the script writer is home, yada yada. Dude, like each of those teams have the worst fans in the league. Like, who's gonna buy seats? Like, they
as
don't
a
buy
team,
seats for their
well,
own games. The
they
away
don't
team,
they don't need trouble selling seats to the Super Bowl. The people who buy
yeah,
seats
no
for the
one's
Super
gonna
Bowl aren't
cheer.
even. It's not even fans who buy cheap seats for the
right.
Super Bowl. It's like people who want to be seen at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly plausible that can happen.
Can
So
both teams have an away game at home?
that's a good point. They'll find I mean, you're gonna look out in that crowd. Somebody's gonna be wearing a Steelers jersey. Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna be wearing a Packers jersey. But
All five
um,
Chargers fans will be there.
yeah.
Are
Well, it's
you?
you and your other four personalities.
I'd love
That
to go.
Asian
Yeah,
chick?
sure.
Yeah.
You guys pay my way.
Tila Tequila or no?
Sean Merriman? Shout
Yeah,
out.
I mean, to be honest, I was just gonna say it right now. If the Chargers go to the Super Bowl, like Billy's saying, and Herbert gets MVP and they win the Super Bowl, we're not gonna have a podcast anymore. Like, I don't wanna do that. This isn't fun. David took his licks as a Patriots fan, and he's gonna take it with style and grace. And if the Chargers honestly, if the Chargers even make it to the Super Bowl, Bill is gonna be completely insufferable. So, let's all cross our fingers that that doesn't happen.
No
I don't know.
weapons, worst line in the league, and now it's like
Yeah.
next year we're winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. A few people have said that. I will counter that with two things. Worst line in the league when you're
Getting healthy.
automatically getting 2 all-pro level tackles back. That is
How can you have
instantly
2
upgrading.
all-pro level tackles? That's like oxymoron too.
Well, there's one on the left
No,
side and one on the right
there's
side.
2 tackle positions.
No, thought there was both left tackles.
No?
Were they both all-pro
Joe
the same
Alt is a
year?
right tackle. Joe Alt only moved to left tackle after the Rashawn Slater injury. Honestly, they might flip sides because Rashawn Slater's injury actually could be
Is it
pretty
Rashawn?
gnarly.
I just thought it was Rashawn.
Rashawn, I don't know.
All right.
I've
Either
heard
way.
opinions
Cultured.
both ways, but
So cultured.
but anyway, yes, they need a wide receiver and they need some interior line help. They will. Jeremiah sent me a funny thing where he's like, "Your draft is gonna be so boring. It's gonna be guard, center, guard, center, guard."
Yeah, it should be.
And that's probably not wrong. I do hope we go and get Tyler Linderbaum in free agency, yada yada yada. Nobody wants to listen about the Chargers yet, but we need a legit wide receiver one. We
Who are
do
they
need that,
losing on
and
defense? As far as contract-wise?
the 2 big ones are Mac and Odafe Oweh,
Yep.
who we just traded for Oweh this season.
Oh,
We
right.
still have
Yeah, you could lose him.
Tulapolotu. We still have Tulapolotu, and the other one is Benjamin St-Juste, who's a corner, who's pretty
Yep.
good. But like, we're not losing any like huge guys, and we have the second most cap space in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
Historically, has there ever been a team with more difficult players' names to pronounce than the Los Angeles/San Diego Chargers?
Segi Giratutu.
Yeah, Michael
Uman.
Humanua. Yeah. Also a Patriot.
Yes.
Who's your mama?
Who's your mama Nui?
Uchenna and
Oh,
Wusu,
which
who
means
had a
that.
pick 6 on Drake May.
Yep, that's true. I remember. I did see that. It's always something special with you guys. Well, maybe that'll work out. Maybe it won't. I think I will tell you, as a Saints fan, we seem to always be drafting offensive linemen and defensive linemen, and I really don't mind it. I genuinely don't, because every year, obviously, we've had quite a bit of struggle in the last couple of years. But the one thing I never have to worry about is the O-line collapsing. If a quarterback's bad, it's because he's bad. We know it, and then we move on. So I do like having that security. It's one of the things that the Saints do that makes me very happy during draft time. So even if, for anybody out there, if your team is picking up an offensive lineman and you get sad about it, don't. It's worth it. Unless it's Cole Strange.
Yeah.
Or Trevor
That's
Penning.
pretty bad.
Yikes.
Okay, so next we are going to go into the PPP segment, picks, props, and parlays, because what else does an all-mail podcast need if not more PPs? As a reminder, we use the DraftKings Sportsbook odds at the time of recording, and each host, as well as our good friend Artificial Intelligence, has 5 units to bet. At least 1 unit needed to be on a parlay of 3 legs or more. The remaining 4 units may be spread as each host sees fit. We will track each host performance, or did track each host performance throughout the weeks. And you can use these numbers to bet with or fade all of our bets when we bring this segment back next year. As always, please bet responsibly. So going over the results, in first place this week, we'll just go along with calling 1 unit $10 again, because that seemed like an easy way to describe it.
Yep.
So everybody started out with 5 units or $50. In first place was myself. I ended with $79.30, or up about 3 units. In second place was Grok. So both of you lost to a robot.
Yeah.
So you started with $50 and ended with about $58, up almost a unit. In third place was JMO. Started with about $50, ended with about 24, down about
Sorry,
2.5
kids.
units. And in last place was David. Started with about $50 and ended with $22.20. So on the year, JMO, you get to do another victory speech, because you were the only one who was positive overall, and you won your first place prize. So after the 4 weeks, you would have started with $200 and ended with $217.80. Any speech?
I do not feel comfortable victory lapping that. That's kind of sad. I mean, I will say my strategy when it comes to betting is I like long-term success. So if you follow me, now I don't want to jinx myself, but if you follow me and follow that trend, if I can make that happen over a 17-game period for the regular season, obviously that money will start to stack up. I am not a get rich quick kind of guy. I like to bet for fun, and by the end of the season, I like to have a decent amount more than what I started with. So that's my strategy. That's why you're never going to see big swings one way or another, but it is consistent and it's a little bit of cash flow. So that's what you're going to get out of me. It is what it is. I wish I could have won you guys more, but I am sorry. However, at least I'm not the biggest loser.
And we'll work our way down to the biggest loser. But in second place is Grok. So if you started with $200, $200 or 20 units, you ended with 15.5 units or $155.70. Grok does not want to make a speech at this time. In third place is yours truly. So I wound up in third place.
Wow.
You started with $20 or $200 or 20 units. You would have ended with $142.50 or down about 5.8 units. And in last place, almost chopping his money directly in half,
Nice.
going from $200 or 20 units to $100.20 or 10.02 units is Dave. David, would you like to make a biggest loser speech?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the
Yeah.
award.
You're
I want
welcome.
to shout out to my Lord and Savior. But
Kid
yeah,
Rock.
that's what happens when you choose overs because I'm a positive guy and you're a Patriots fan. And they didn't score
Womp
any
womp.
points. So it happens.
It's all right. We'll bounce back.
That's right.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to touch on, and this is honestly, I'm going to segue it this way because I'm me, but this isn't just to take that negative Patriots note and turn it into another negative Patriots note. I did call this the year of silver medals for Drake May. I wanted to talk now about Hall of Fame and NFL awards. So obviously the spiciest topic being Matt Stafford winning the MVP over Drake May. You had the 2 votes for Josh Allen and the 1 vote for Justin Herbert. Shout out, I think his name is Sam Lawson. He knows ball. Who voted for Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
he
had
knows
those
balls,
votes come
alright.
in, and you had Drake May again, season to second places. What are your guys' thoughts on that? We had JSN winning Offensive Player of the Year. We had was it Ted McMillan won Rookie of the Year?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it was Tetaroa
Tetaroa.
McMillan. Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, we knew that the MVP race was gonna be close, and it was, so I'm just happy that it played out that way. Either one of them winning it close, I was gonna be fine with it either way. So I've got no problem with that. JSN winning it, same thing, his dominance was clear. We talked about him and Puka just being so ahead of it, just lapping the field. As wide receivers, and so I like that a lot. Um, Obviously, an argument could have been made for Christian McCaffrey, but he's gonna go down as one of the greatest running backs of all time, so it's fine. And then Rookie of the Year, even as a Saints fan, looking at it being Tyler Shook versus Tetaroa McMillan was insane to me. It was McMillan all the way. I don't even think it was even close because I think you can genuinely make an argument that Jackson Dart was more valuable to
Yeah.
his team than Tyler Shook. I think I would barely edge out Tyler Shook. Maybe that's some bias in there with it, but either way, I think all the awards this year went the way they were supposed to. Christian McCaffrey ended up winning Comeback Player of the Year, I think, which obviously makes sense with the play that he's had. So I think they got him pretty much all right this year. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I think the Tyler Shook Jackson Dart debate is an interesting one. I'm not saying there's not an argument for Tyler Shook. I do think it was more recency bias. Like Jackson Dart obviously had
Yes.
that great run mid-season and then it kind of tailed off. Obviously they lost Scat. Whereas Tyler Shook kind of came on strong later.
Yep.
If you look at their stats, honestly, like I think Jackson Dart, honestly, when they were talking about Tyler Shook being a front runner, I was like, why isn't it Jackson? I told you straight to your face. I'm like, why not
Yeah.
Jackson Dart? Like,
Right.
he pulled off some impressive wins when that team was still relatively healthy.
Yeah, the Chargers.
And yep, they beat the Chargers. That is correct. Thank you, David.
Yep.
I'm
still here.
And I think his numbers wound up even slightly better than Shook's overall. I don't have him right in front of me. I also want to shout out head coach of the year, Mike Verbal. For those who didn't see, they mispronounced him. I don't understand how you can be, even if you're learning who won the award while you're up on stage, because I know some award shows they know already. Some award shows they don't. But even if you're learning while you're up on stage, there's like 4 finalists, if that.
Yeah.
You can't remember their names. I'm not gonna call it the JSN one, mainly because I'm not gonna repeat what he said on here. And secondly, because I think that was 100% on purpose. So
Yeah, of
I
course
think
it was on
that's
purpose.
different. Yeah, I understand. But I think that one's different. The Mike Virgil one was just
Yeah.
that was just like I don't understand how you can do that. Like, have some respect for yourself.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And then there was
Yeah,
also
but
the
he
Hall of Fame.
oh,
So I
yeah.
was gonna say there's also the Hall of Fame. So Chargers great, Drew Brees getting in. That was great to see.
I will slap you right in the face. Yep.
Any
I
other
will
takes
say
on the
it
field?
it was kind of fun. So everybody loves when the video circulates about people getting met in their homes and whatever for the Hall of Fame, right? So you'll usually have somebody, a veteran that you looked up to that's in the hall, or somebody that's good friends with you that's in the hall, and they're gonna show up and be like, congratulations, blah blah blah. A couple this year that I thought were really funny was Luke Kuechly when they went to
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
was Julius Peppers was like, introducing him and saying, congratulations, you made it to the Hall of Fame. And he was like, oh, wow, cool, neato. Like, it's just such a funny personality for somebody that was is like Brian Dawkins, an absolute killer on the field. And he's just kind of like, wow, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, just a
That's awesome,
nerd.
man.
He was a
Just a
huge
big jack
missile, yeah.
nerd. That's all he is.
Yeah, exactly. So, that was really funny to see. And then the Drew Brees one, when when they pulled up, Drew Brees is literally like, "Wow, this is so unexpected." It's like, "No, it's
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
dude."
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I know you wanna be
actually,
humble, but
I'll take a moment to say something here.
sure.
There's a listener to this podcast who might have had a horrible take about Bill Belichick not being deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. I was
I don't
arguing
remember
one day.
Oh, yeah.
I was arguing with him one day about I don't even remember what it was about. It was about some over on the quarterback ranking, and I said I'd put Drew Brees in front of whoever it was. I don't even remember what it was, and he called Drew Brees a fringe Hall of Famer. So there are
Wow.
apparently people out there who are that.
Yeah.
I guess he's my brother-in-law, so I probably shouldn't drop any words that I'll regret.
Yeah.
But that's
Sure.
bigger
just
than
a
you.
take that I can't
Yeah.
get in with. So
I
I
think
No,
completely
that's
agree.
silly.
the detriment to Drew Brees is that he played on the Saints.
Yeah,
If he played on,
unfortunately.
yeah, like a popular team that gets a lot of views.
Yep. Yeah, he really was that guy. His accuracy, his numbers, putting the team on his back, he did all of it, and it wasn't even close. So I understand he was trying to be humble, but I just thought that was really funny because, like, yes, Drew, you know that you're one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. So I don't know. It is what it is. Personality wise too, nobody hates Drew Brees. Everybody loves the guy. So good for
Yeah.
him for getting in.
Yeah, he's good for the sport. Another guy that got in was Larry Fitzgerald, which Randy
Yeah.
Moss was presenting the jacket to him.
Yep.
And Larry Fitzgerald was a ball boy for the Vikings when Randy Moss was playing. That's how they know each other.
Yeah,
Also,
that was
fun
another
fact about
fun.
Larry Fitzgerald,
Well, hold
he
on.
has
Hold on. Let me guess. Is it the drops and the tackles?
it is.
All right, go ahead.
He has more tackles on his career than drops as a wide receiver, which is just the most insane stat for somebody who was so good in a receiver for so long. The
Mhm.
And he played
opportunities you
with,
have to make a tackle versus the opportunities you have to make a drop are
yeah,
that's such an insane
QJ could
stat.
never.
I don't have
So
the number in front of me, but he played with, I don't know, probably 6 quarterbacks, if not more, somewhere. Like,
No, it was definitely more than that.
yeah, like to not have that many drops with no chemistry with a lot of janky quarterbacks is really impressive.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
and that's why he had so many opportunities for tackles because his quarterbacks were just
Yeah, that's true too.
yikes.
I guess that's fair. Maybe it's not such an impressive stat.
Yeah.
It was great to finally. Again, people think I'm a Patriots hater. I'm not. I just don't believe in Drake May. But another great person to see get inducted this year was finally Keith Harry gets in.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
was that's great to see. Like it's ridiculous that somebody of his caliber, who has so many moments that he has.
Right.
It's hard sometimes we get wrapped up in stats, and you kind of forget the moments that players have. And Vinatieri is like, if you're ever gonna put a special teamer in the hall, it's Adam Vinatieri.
Yep, definitely. And a lot of people seem to, I had this discussion during the Super Bowl. People kind of forget or they just don't know that kickers are typically responsible for the most amount of points scored in a franchise history, and it kind of surprises people. But like you look at, I mean, obviously passing touchdowns don't count as we've mentioned before, but so like talking about the Patriots, they're like, oh, what about Moss? Moss had like 300. Yeah, I think about 300 points for the Patriots. Then you talk about Gronk. Gronk had like 700 points. Adam Vinatieri had 1,200 points
Yeah,
for
it's
the New
insane.
England Patriots, and then also had a very good career after that for 5 or 6 years on the Colts,
I
and
think
I
he
don't
played
remember if he
longer
played
for the Colts than he did for the Patriots.
that. Yeah, that might be true. So, it just shows you obviously he's got, all kinds of talent, and he did
I'm
it
just
for a
glad to
long
see a
time.
Patriot get in because there is a bias against Patriots being Hall of Famers for whatever reason.
Clearly. Yeah.
Well, obviously, you get
Yeah,
the
that's a good
snubs,
point.
but, like, Rodney Harrison, say what you want
Yeah,
about PEDs and all that, he got snubbed,
right.
like, when he played, he was the best in his position for many years. You
Yeah,
got Richard
and
Seymour. I think Ty Law was the first one to, like, really break that, but
yeah.
other than Ty, it's pretty dry for a 20-year dominant spell that they had.
I agree. So good to see that. I do. I was going to run through the list is pretty short for Larry Fitzgerald quarterback, so I wanted to run through that real quick since we were talking about it. Um, Josh McCown, Sean King, John Navarro, Kurt Warner, Tim Rattay, Matt Leinart, Brian St. Pierre, Derek Anderson, Kevin Cobb, Max Hall, John Skelton, Richard Bartell, Brian Hoyer, Ryan Lindley, Carson Palmer, Drew Stanton, Blaine Gabbert, Josh Rosen, Sam Bradford, Brett Huntley, Mike Glennon, and Kyler Murray. So that was really it.
Holy smokes.
He was other than that, it
He
was
should have put
pretty
up better numbers with a supporting cast like that. That's great.
right? That is something. Good for him. Love that guy. Yikes.
Yeah, yeah. It's just something else. But it's great to see again. Vinatieri get in. The Roger Craig video was really cool to see too. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
Yeah.
he was all amped up about it. Yeah, no, just good to see. And I agree, they got all the NFL awards right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jingo, do you have a hot topic for us around the NFL?
I do have a hot topic. Let's see. Can we talk about commercials? The Super Bowl commercials as a hot topic?
Sure.
Because
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
You do whatever you want.
I
You
think
are in charge.
that's a good point. So, I think that I don't know. For me, the commercials have kind of lost their luster compared to what they used to be. Like I don't even
Oh,
before
for
it was like
sure.
I cannot leave this room because of the commercials. And I think it started going downhill somewhere around the puppy monkey baby, if I had to guess.
I was
But
just about to say that. I love Puppy
so
Monkey Baby.
I bet you do. But there were still some good ones this year, so that's what I'll focus on. For me personally, I am such a sucker for dumb things, but I really like the Goodwill Duncan commercial. All the callbacks to all the actors and everybody looking so young with the CGI and whatever else they used. I just thought it was really funny. I like that kind of stuff a lot, and it was just it made me smile for sure. What did you guys have for your favorite commercials?
So I'll just say I think the Goodwill Duncan, it was so chaotic. I don't know. It just like I understand that was kind of the point of it, but I couldn't really follow it. I was just like, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing, but it's just like a new person and new reference every second on screen.
I don't care. I
My
loved it.
favorite would be the exact opposite of that. So that was probably the highest budget Super Bowl commercial. I'm gonna go with the lowest budget Super Bowl commercial. I loved the Coinbase, Backstreet
Oh, I
Boys
hated that one. I was
lyrics
gonna bring it up
karaoke. I thought that
just
was
as a hate.
hilarious.
Yeah, because you're on the spectrum.
Hey, I can
Yeah,
say I'm not you.
I definitely don't know all the words and sung along to it in my
I
in-laws
just thought
house. I
I
definitely
just thought it
didn't
was
do that
clever
for
because
sure.
it's like it got everybody to stop and like even if you didn't like it, it still got you to stop and be like, what the hell is going
Yeah.
on? Like, what is going on with this? So I don't know. I like that one. I liked the Guy Fieri one too. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, Guy Fieri was good.
Yeah, Guy Fieri was probably one of the better ones. Because
That
who's
was
really
funny.
seen him without facial hair and looking normal, you know? Other than
Yeah,
probably his wife or
for anybody that didn't catch it, that when they cut over to the other the just a guy, that was Guy Fieri without all the extra stuff and whatever. That was still him in case you missed it. So that was good.
I really liked the Wegovy commercial. Nah, I'm just kidding. Because
Oh my!
watching
I
the
was just
Super
gonna
Bowl, a
say,
bunch of high level athletes, and I was like,
don't start.
if you want to
Yeah,
lose weight, let's go to your doctor and get this prescription. Um,
yeah.
my most relatable one is probably Manscaped.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I
one,
don't have
that one was
hair.
pretty
I have a
funny.
beard, and it's like, dude, those little clumps are everywhere. When I gotta trim something,
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm a hairy
Well,
guy.
hey, they hit their market audience, so good for them. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was an interesting year for Super Bowl commercials, to say the least.
Yeah, there wasn't any, like,
They-
great ones. I did like the Budweiser one. I do like they finally went back to, like, their tradition of the Clydesdale and the little baby
Right.
bird, and
I
but
I
I
think the
just
Oikos
remembered.
ones
Yep. Yeah, that was good.
with Derrick
I
Henry.
I just remembered the polar bear one that I thought nothing of until they did you guys catch that? The polar bear Pepsi commercial, whatever, and they did the spoof on the cheating at the Coldplay concert?
no,
No,
I
I
didn't.
didn't
Yeah,
see that. I
you
must
guys
have
gotta go
missed
back
it.
and rewatch it. Yeah, it's like they're sharing a soda and they get caught on the live cam or whatever. It was very subtle and very quick, but I laughed a lot harder than I needed to at that.
That's fine. David, do you have a hot topic for us today?
Yeah, so we talked about the coaching carousel, but what is coming up that is going to be something to keep an eye on is going to be the free agent quarterback carousel. So,
Ooh.
um, Kirk Cousins just restructured his deal, so he is going
Patriot.
to be cut before March, before the league
Yep.
year, and then you still have. I mean, this says Aaron Rodgers. Who knows if he'll come back, retire?
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones, Flacco, Malik Willis is going to be a name people are going to want to get.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going to be like, where is somebody like Kirk Cousins going to go? I could see him fitting well in a lot of different places. I thought he'd fit well in the Falcons, but maybe he'll go back to the Vikings because they just saw their ex-girlfriend get married. So
Yeah.
I mean, that must sting pretty good. They definitely need a
Yeah.
quarterback, and I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of ties to him going to the Cardinals, which I think would be good for their offense,
Oh, yeah,
having
and then
somebody
you
that
have
can
Kyler
actually throw the
Murray
ball.
and
Yep.
Tua's on the block. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
gonna take that deal, but
I mean, I think Tua can be a backup. I like.
yeah, but not
I
for
think Tua's
$50
in a.
million.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think he's gonna make it past that. I'm just saying I don't. I think you can bring Tua in once he doesn't have that cap hit, if he can be a backup, and I don't think that's crazy. Like, I don't think you're gonna have a controversy on your hands. I do wonder about Kyler Murray. Like, is there a team out there who wants to try and make Kyler Murray work?
If I was the Raiders, I would definitely try.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, I don't understand. We're just three guys hanging out and doing a podcast, right? But like, it seems to me the easiest thing to do. Number one, you need a backup quarterback. I don't know why so many teams think that they don't. Like, when Flacco was going around and all these backup quarterbacks that could still huck it, Jameis Winston. Remember when the Miami Dolphins were almost good for a season, and then Tua went down, and they had nobody behind him,
Yeah.
Skylar Moore and whatever. Like, dude, why did you, if you were building a good team and you had a healthy Tyreek and all that, why did you not go out and get a backup quarterback that could win games? So that's important.
I
Like, number one, you
I
need
don't
to
know
have
if I
good.
agree.
What?
I think so.
There's
I mean, I
Nick
guess
Foles.
maybe if you have like a week to week injury, but I think you're good quarterbacks in this league outside of maybe Lamar. They play through those injuries that would make them week to week. If you're talking like an ACL tear or something like that, I don't think you plan on having your backup quarterback actually be able to do well. And honestly, if you're a GM constructing a team, you'd rather, if you don't have a chance to win the Super Bowl because you're gonna have a
Yeah.
backup quarterback anyway, you'd rather not win games and
Well,
be able to get a better draft pick. Like there's no
I
the NFL doesn't reward mediocrity. The NFL rewards poor performance or
yeah.
excelling performance.
I understand that, but you need to have better contingencies if you're a good team than what some of these good teams have. So because they're not expensive either when they're coming in on these deals. But I think it's as simple as this: if your starter is a Russian quarterback, your backup should be a Russian quarterback. If your starter
Yeah.
is a pocket passer, your backup should be a pocket passer. So
I agree with
having
that. For sure.
having Kyler Murray or Tua go to a team like the Colts. Right. So they've got Daniel Jones. I know there's a lot going on there, but they've got Daniel Jones, who's not going to be able to start the season, and Anthony Richardson, who hasn't really been able to do a whole lot. If you could bring in one of those guys on a cheaper contract and maybe ship away Anthony Richardson if you don't believe in him, you're able to continue to play the same playbook because Daniel Jones is a mobile quarterback. So not to the degree that some of these other guys are, but it allows you that ability to continue with the same style of playbook that you already have. Same thing with Malik Willis. So all these guys need to be going to places like Philly and places like the Colts and places like the Commanders where you have, well, I guess they have Marcus Mariota.
we got
So,
Mariota.
but you need like being able, and you are not that he won a lot of games, but he was able to at least keep them in it when Jaden Daniels went down because the offense stayed primarily the same because you have a similar guy
But do
coming
you
in.
want that? I guess is my point.
Yeah, of course you want it.
I do. I want that structure. You're
To-
already going to run
to
that
what
offense.
end?
We're already going to run the offense.
Because-
So like you have a chance to do what Nick Foles did, or if it's
I guess-
if it's really late in the season.
You can't
I guess
tank the
my point is
NFL and
more-
not get fired.
I
Yeah.
understand. My point is more like it shouldn't be a priority. It should be an afterthought, right? Because not everything can be a priority or nothing's a priority. But if you're
Sure.
prioritizing, like looking into your backup quarterback, I don't think you're really focusing on a strength area of your team and something that if your backup quarterback ever gets shown, it's
Yeah.
going to be pretty regardless, or else they'd be a starting quarterback somewhere else, or they're tremendously overpaid and it's costing you value somewhere else on your team.
I think
All I'm
you
saying is-
want
It's not like every
You're-
team can have a cheap backup quarterback who's also really good.
you want all your backups to be starters.
Yeah.
That's
Justin
the whole-
Fields.
That doesn't work.
Justin Fields is a
That's the
perfect
best
backup.
thing.
You
It's like,
can't. Not every backup can be a starter. There's 32 NFL teams. There aren't
No,
64 starting
but-
caliber quarterbacks.
The difference between
Right?
Tua and Kyler and Justin Fields and Will Howard and Mason Rudolph and these are legitimate second stringers. Like the difference is massive.
Right, but the difference in contract might be massive, and that's money you can spend elsewhere.
Yeah, that's fair. If it's you definitely have to do some cost analysis to make sure that that's the right play. I'll give you that.
And again, I'll say this, and this is going to be me beating on a dead horse because I feel like David kind of rolled over a little bit during that first segment, and I wanted to fight a lot more. But I honestly think, like looking at a Kirk Cousins, I know they won't do it, but
Shut
I
up.
think it would be
Well, they
a
have-
great move for the Patriots. And hang
Shut
on,
your
I have
mouth.
a point. I have a point.
yeah, keep going.
I have had so many Patriots fans be like, we weren't even supposed to be here. We were projected to win 8 games, all this happy, crappy stuff. And oh, we'll be back. He's still young. Patriots fans are so delusional because they
You're
just went through the
delusional.
greatest dynasty. They went through the greatest dynasty the sport's ever seen, that they just think they're going to be right back in the Super Bowl. We talk about there are games that are won because the bounce goes right for the team that wins the game. Every bounce went the Patriots' way this year. The easiest schedule in over 25 years. 25
Dude,
years.
you just
That's the
contradicted
easiest
yourself
schedule
in
a
like
year.
5 minutes.
Yeah, how much do you think Kirk
What?
Cousins is going to cost to bring in as a backup?
How do you not want your backup to
I'm
be as
not
good as
saying
a
a
starter,
backup.
but yet you should
I'm not
sign
saying
Kirk
as a
Cousins
backup.
to be a starter?
That's
I'm not saying as a
insane.
backup. I'm saying maybe looked up. Trade may. I'm not saying they will do this. I am
Then-
admitting this is a crackpot GM theory, but I'm saying if
Crack
you
is right.
want- Super Bowl windows are so small. If you want to take this defense that can
The
win
window
big
hasn't even
games-
started.
He's
The
on a
window
rookie
hasn't
contract.
this
That
is
is
my
the
point.
window.
This is my point. That's ridiculous. You're gonna have to pay Gonzalez. You're gonna have to pay May. Contracts are gonna come up. Patriots fans are so delusional because of the Tom Brady franchise.
Okay,
that
then
you
why is
think
Herbert
that
gonna be MVP in Super Bowl next year? He's getting paid. They gotta pay Slater. They gotta pay the guys they're
they
losing
already
who
have.
get
Those guys are already under contract.
oh,
And I'm
so
talking
they're
about
already
this
under
next year. I'm
contract? They
not
can make
saying
a
they're going to be
run?
a dynasty for 15 years, but they
Oh,
have the
okay.
most cap room and they have like 2 big free agents. That's why.
Yeah, but you just said it's not
Again,
possible
what's not possible?
to pay all these guys and go on runs.
I'm saying are
Oh.
the Patriots aren't they have a short window because they have Gonzalez on a rookie deal. Gonzalez is going to need a lot of money. We all know it. They have May
Sure.
rookie deal. Their starting quarterback on a rookie deal. Their starting quarterback's going to need a lot of money. But I guess my greater point is this. Again, balls bounced right for the Patriots this year. Easiest schedule in over 25 years. And then that playoff run where you get the Chargers with an absolute hole that I was hopeful that they weren't going to be able to exploit. And then they had a great interior pass rush. Then you had the CJ Stroud without Nico Collins. Then you had a backup quarterback. Like
Yeah.
everything
We kn-
bounced right, but
we know the story.
every Patriots fan is telling me, oh, they'll be back next year. They'll be back the year after. Like,
Well, they'll be back in
you
the
don't get these
playoffs.
bounces every year. You're not going to get the easiest schedule in over 2 decades
Well,
every year.
they have the Dolphins and the Jets in their division, and Buffalo's
Yeah.
a dumpster fire. So,
Yeah.
mathematically, they have a good shot at winning the division.
Exactly. And
The
if you're
Jets
gonna
and
be
the
in the
I'm not
Kings
saying
the
they
playoffs,
whole
won't make the
time.
playoffs. I'm
Well,
just
you
saying
just said
they're
their
not going to.
window's closed.
well, so here's the thing. They're gonna likely make the playoffs. And instead of spending that money on another quarterback rather than developing your young quarterback, you spend that money on more weapons and more offensive linemen for that developing quarterback who was literally second place by a hair in MVP votes for the
With the
NFL.
easiest schedule in over 25 years.
Yeah,
It
well,
doesn't matter.
they
It does
also
matter. It absolutely
overpaid
matters.
all their free agents last year because nobody wanted to be a Patriot.
True.
So, if I were them, I would restructure all those deals, and if they don't like it, you cut them, and then you get players that wanna play for Mike Vrabel because that list is growing, Bill.
Absolutely, it is. All right. I'm glad that we got
The
that all
discounts
out of
be
our
coming.
systems. Yeah, I think
Bill's
honestly,
gonna
I
have
think
a
that
heart
it is
attack
going to
if
be
Max Crosby gets traded or AJ
Well,
Brown gets
okay,
traded
and
because
no,
they wanna play with
I
Vrabel.
actually, I've had the Max Crosby conversation. Max Crosby needs a lot of money. And again, it's another one of those things. Look at like
Yep.
the great edge rushers in this league. I actually think edge rushers are starting to get
They're
extremely
overrated.
overpaid. Obviously, obviously they're great, but like Miles
And look at
Garrett was
Myles Garrett,
Defensive
yeah.
Player of the Year by a landslide on one of the worst 2 or 3 teams in the league. Look, I don't necessarily care about Max Crosby because again, there's more cap space that you're going to need to see. And trust me, I see Max Crosby twice a year on the worst team in our division. Like,
Yeah.
it's not really gonna do much for me. I also think he's a little overrated, and think the position's a little overrated.
That's
And him
insane
and
to say that
Herbert have
he's
a blood
okay.
feud. So,
I can't listen to you talk anymore. You're going to give me a headache. Can we please get into our anything else so I can get fired up?
well, so technically, we still have my hot topic.
Oh
My hot
g
topic.
all right.
Well,
Fine.
Stop
I will
beating a dead
half skip
horse.
it. I will half skip it. It was beating a dead horse. It was going to be a keep that same energy to you, David. Does Drake May suck? And was he outplayed by Sam Darnold? Because those are 2 questions you asked me about Herbert and then
No
stacked
and
it in the
yes.
playoffs.
Okay. He doesn't suck, he didn't play well, and he was outplayed by Sam Darnold.
There. Answered.
Okay, thank you.
Got
But
it.
if you
and then I
put
will,
Sam Darnold on the Patriots and you put Drake May on the Seahawks, it probably looks similar.
There you go.
Yeah, you didn't research that, did you?
I
You're
don't,
like,
I don't,
"Oh,
no, I
that
don't
actually
get this.
kinda
I
makes
don't
sense."
get the similar. I don't get the similar. Like, are you saying Drake May still sucks just on the Seahawks? Or are you
No,
saying
like,
Drake
he
May
puts up,
played
like,
by
similar
Sam
numbers
Darnold
that
did?
Darnold did, and
And Darnold struggles against those tough defenses.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think whatever. I'll stop beating the dead horse. I disagree, but that's fine. My other hot topic from around the league is gonna be: did you guys see the I can't remember his name, the 49ers defensive lineman who was at a club, and he got him and his crew on an
Oh, Keon White.
baby and his crew. Yeah,
Was it Keon White? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even see
yeah,
that. Former Patriot
and he
great.
got you didn't see it even though I sent it to the group chat. And he got shot in the ankle. So that'll be a very interesting injury to come back for as a defensive tackle. And I just think, like, I get it. You're young, you're rich, and you're probably out
What is going on with
in
San
the
Francisco? Like, what a
It's got to be the
terrible
power station.
place. Well, no, well, it's like
I don't think that one's the power station.
Pearsall got shot there.
Yeah, but at least
Didn't
he
Brian
was like
Robinson Jr. get shot there too?
he got shot. I don't remember where he got shot.
I'm
but
pretty sure he was
yeah.
a 49er, and then they just traded him to the Red. No, he was a Commander.
No, he
That's
was.
right.
He got. Yeah, he went there
Yeah, he
afterwards.
was.
Opposite, yeah. But still,
Yeah.
like these cities are getting super dangerous, especially like if you're a pro athlete going out at night. You saw it overseas with that quarterback that just got beat up. Who was that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I forget. It was a backup though. But yeah, people are looking to rob these guys and change their lives for the worse. It's sad.
And then you have the Mark Sanchez situation.
Yeah, he
Oof.
needed to change his life for the worse.
That was a fun. Oh, Skylar Thompson. That's who I was talking about. The backup in Miami that sucks.
Yeah.
He was the one who got. Yeah.
He
Good.
got like
He
mugged.
deserved it. He's an idiot.
Yeah, probably.
Not really. He's probably a really good
just
guy.
for
He just
being a
sucks at
bad
football.
backup.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong of me.
Yeah, we need our athletes being more like Hernandez. Am I right?
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. Yep.
I was just about to say, like, even if he was completely in the right in this situation, like, you just can't be putting yourself in those positions where you're
I mean,
like
I forget what
getting
Pearsall
shot
got
in the
shot
ankle at
for,
a
but
club at
I think he
2 in
was
the
just like
morning.
I think that was a wrong place, wrong time, or something like. I don't.
Yeah, I
remember
think I
either,
remember that too. Yeah.
but, yeah, and I mean, obviously, shout out to Plexico Burris. That's another one. Classic.
Uh,
All right.
yeah. Speaking of Diggs got punched in the face, so and he ran away since it wasn't a woman. Or anything else, J-Mo?
All right. So this one is, I think most people are going to agree with me, but some people are going to get angry about it. And if you get angry about it, you're the problem. So I recently went to my oldest kid's basketball practice. He's 6.5. 6.5, there's just enough for them to get mouthy. But like if you leave them alone for a weekend, they might not survive. Like that's the age we're talking about. So he had practice. We had like 10 kids on the team. 9 of them were there for practice, I think. There were 3 parents there. Now, I don't know if these parents, if you guys are listening, you know what? No, I'm not even sorry. You guys suck. So if you drop your kid off and then you just go sit in your car, which is the better alternative, that's weird. But if you drop your kid off and then just dip and then come back at the end of practice, that is also insane. If your kid gets hurt at practice and has to go to the hospital or something like, and you're just not there, that's crazy. Also, these
What if they're
coaches,
a single parent with other kids?
then don't sign your kid up for sports. You just don't get it. You should have
Give him a job like
picked
a
a better.
normal person.
You should have picked a you should have picked a better partner. I don't know what to like. I don't know what to tell you, but like the coach is not there to babysit your children. And when your kids are getting out of line and being disruptive in practice, and you're not there to reprimand them, the coach isn't going to do it. They're 6.5. They're not teenagers that you can talk to. Like that just blows my mind, and it really irks me. I do not like it. I think you need to be there because number one, you should want to see the development of your kid. Be a good parent.
Yeah.
And then number 2, you need to be
Facts.
there. Like one kid fell down and got hurt because it's basketball and he went for a rebound and he fell over and the floor is hard. Like you want to be there to comfort your kid. So I don't care even if you if you dip, that's crazy. Like I'm going to call CPS. You're an idiot. But even if you're just outside in the parking lot, chilling in your car, scrolling on your phone, doing whatever, like you could do that in the gym. So parents out there, if your kids are playing sports or whatever, do not just go and drop them off if they're under the age of 12. Don't just go and drop them off and dip. Like you suck. Be better.
Yeah, completely agreed. I was just giving you crap about the single parent, but
Yeah, I know.
it's
Not you,
you
single
you
parent.
have to at that age. No, I'm not.
But
a
drop
single
them off
parent.
and leave them alone. Especially what's going on in the world with the Epstein list and people stealing children and just
Yeah.
gonna drop them off it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's not a good look. Obviously my kid's still a baby or toddler, but yeah, I mean, I plan on being around for all of his events and all of his practices and stuff. I feel like that's kind of what you sign up for when you have kids.
Yep.
Absolutely.
If not, coaching it, because I'll probably
Right,
get
yeah.
thrown into that somehow.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, the other day I was hanging out with my friend and his dad, and it made me think his dad used to yell at refs in baseball.
Nice.
In, like, Little League.
Nice.
I was like, that's so funny. That's such a good throwback
That's an
memory. But
anything else for another time. That is just inexcusable.
For the
no,
refs
it's
to be
just
that, yeah, I agree.
well, it's like all-star games. Like we were all in all-star teams together. Yeah, it was just
Hell yeah.
just refs couldn't walk free. It was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody had to bring the passion,
At
you
your
know?
8-year-old's game.
Yeah.
That's just wild.
These guys into it,
Uh,
okay?
What do you have for your anything else, Dave?
I don't really have a whole lot. I guess I've just been working out, trying to get back into shape for flag football, which is coming up hopefully in the next couple weeks if we don't get booted
Woo
some
woo.
mysterious way. Just hoping some of the guys sign up soon. Huh?
Yeah,
Huh? Huh?
so it's funny. So I stopped playing flag football. Number one, I didn't really play a lot of it, but and I'm not that good at it. So I'll preface it with that. However, after watching Bill tear his calf muscle off of his gosh darn leg, and then
Unbelievable.
immediately followed up with David tearing his ACL, um, I can't be out of work that long. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I looked around and
So
I
love
saw the injuries,
I have a white collar job.
and
It's
that's a good
done for me.
that's a
I'm
good point.
dumb. I see it as you have a shelf life to do what you love to do. Might as well just do it. Because when
Brother,
I'm
yours expired. Your shelf life expired.
No,
Give it up.
no. See, and I agree with David here. I love flag football so much. I get so much joy out of it, and I am so excited. I have 2 young boys. One just turned 3 yesterday, and then the other is about 7 months old. And I am so excited to play flag football with them. That
yeah.
is the
Like we
goal,
play in
to
a
play with
league
them.
for everybody that's listening where people play with their kids and these teams are really good. So it's like you have the
Mhm.
dad's usually the quarterback and he's throwing to his kids and they're competing with high level athletes that are in the prime of their existence and they're going toe for toe and something you love to see, especially for an
Yeah.
old man like us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
miss me with that. I'll be
shout out
playing.
Adam Tambo. He's
There you go.
nasty.
But
I'll be playing
you
golf
play
and cornhole.
basketball.
That's different. I see.
No, it's
I
not.
can't. No, I can't get hurt. I don't move fast enough to get hurt.
Well, I
So
didn't think I did
I'm
either.
fine.
Billy didn't think he did
I
either.
definitely didn't think I did either.
Well, but that's the thing. It's running on a court versus running on turf. You know how many injuries happen on turf?
Billy also
I'm
don't
good.
stretch on game day, just like Randy Moss.
True.
I do now.
Yeah.
Just that one calf. Nothing else.
That's
Just that
insane.
one calf. Oh, that was gnarly.
Yeah, I always told
I thought I got-
myself if I had a serious injury, I would never play again. And a year later, it's feeling decent enough to throw. But it's like that's my escape. Everybody
Yes.
has their little passions and
Yeah. Yep.
escapes. Now that I haven't been able to play for the past year, and it's not just playing, but it's the camaraderie with the guy. I don't play the pickup basketball like you do and all that other stuff, but we have a good squad and that helps a lot. We have a bunch of good guys on the team, so it makes it a lot better and making the
Yeah.
Yeah,
decision.
David's the one who gets mad at us for having fun, even if we're losing.
That's a good
I
point.
get
Nobody
ripped.
can smile if we're losing.
That's fair. Well, yeah. I mean, that's just the way that it
Yeah,
goes.
if we're losing and somebody's buddying up with the other guy on another team, it's it makes
Yeah.
my blood boil.
That's fair.
I do it all the time.
Speaking of playing with guys, Billy, what is your anything else?
Hey. So my anything else, I think all 3 of our anything else this time will relate to when we have kids. But can we just talk about how unfair of a system it is? And I know a lot about money, like degrees in finance, yada yada. Retirement should be when your kids are young and not when you have nothing to do and your body's decrepit. I guess again, this is coming from the perspective of someone who has a white collar job. But
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah.
just I don't know. I would love for those who don't know, I've been on maternity leave since October.
I was about to say
I'm
3
about
months ain't enough.
Four
Dude, you
months
can't.
almost. And I'm about to go back.
I'll go back to work for free after 3 months and not work.
Right.
No, I'm about to go back, and it's just I don't know. I'd love to take 3, 4, 5 years before they're in school and just have that be retirement and trade that for a 3, 4, 5 years extra I'll work at the end of my working career.
Well,
Unfortunately,
I have a
money,
job for
compound
you.
interest. money and compound interest don't work like that. So 3
True.
or 5 years now turns into 20 extra years working later. But
Yeah, it
so
sucks.
I guess in a roundabout way, that's my way of saying support this podcast so that I can stay home
Yeah.
work on
All
the
three of us.
podcast, and
Good plug.
then there we go. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Dave?
Sounds like you should become a teacher or a professor because they have the summers off and some of the winter off.
Oh boy,
Do
don't
you
talk
want
to
to
a teacher about
subsidize my
having
mortgage?
yeah,
Yeah, true.
don't talk about how teachers have summers off. They somehow get really defensive and angry over it, even though it's a fact.
Okay.
Billy's married to one.
For those who
Give us
don't
some
know, my
insider.
wife's the teacher. I love my wife very much. She does have it's great. She doesn't get paid for the summer off. That's the context there.
Oh.
And context matters.
Okay.
But no, I like my house too much, and I would not be able to afford my mortgage as a teacher, and I don't have enough degrees to be a professor. So, but I agree. I think that's a sweet gig. Or, getting laid off in the winter.
Yeah,
Also true.
it's also what I signed up for. But
Yeah. Well, hey, at least one of us in the group is just working all the time. You're welcome.
I'll be
Yeah.
back good. I'm
JMO
not
works on
taking another
planes.
paternity leave. I made sure
I-
about that.
I do work on airplanes, and that now you just scared half of our audience, and they're never gonna fly again. So thanks for that.
It's all right.
That's
Robots
so
are going to be
shouldn't-
flying planes pretty soon.
I mean,
AI is going
the
to
plane
take over.
flies. I promise you, the plane is already flying itself 98% of it.
Yeah. I was gonna say robots will be flying a plane long before they'll be fixing it, but because I think
True.
diagnosis issues.
Yeah, the robots are the
anyway,
reason
yeah.
the plane keeps breaking because everything's a computer, and that's what's going bad.
I
Gosh
guess
darn
like
it.
a lot of like the radio heads I've been hearing that were at Super Bowl week, a lot of the taxis in San Francisco are driverless.
I don't like that at all. Nope.
I know, I'm
I'll
trying to-
fucking walk.
You
I'll
you
walk.
guys are just not with it.
Oh no! I did it! I did it. I just had to bring up AI, and he did it.
Oh no! I gotta edit this out. I said a no word. I thought I was gonna make it my whole career without doing it.
What's great about this is the first episode David hadn't sworn on.
I know. I'm actually trying to be really good.
And we're at the end of anything else. It
And
just
for the record, our group chat is these two guys swearing like sailors, and I'm the one that swears the least.
That is true.
It's true.
And you know what? It's no surprise the one segment that I end up swearing on is because we're talking about AI and robots, and the one thing in this world that scares the ever-loving crud out of me.
You just gotta learn and adapt and grow. But yeah, David did a reverse search on a word that starts with F, ends with uck, and it sure isn't fire truck. And it's just Jeremiah and I going back and
Jeremiah
forth.
Bay, just everything. WTF, WTF, WTF was this, WTF was that. It's like,
Yeah.
you guys are nuts.
90%
that
of
was
it
bad.
is talking about football players, but
Yep. Oopsies.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
Habs are the best of us, you know?
Yeah,
Now you can't say you've
so
never
that-
done it.
it's true.
that does it for us here on Context Matters. Thanks again to Hyatt Trucks and Brother Seamus. Check us out on YouTube at Context Does Matter, and Spotify and wherever else you can get your podcasts at the Context Matters Podcast. Also follow us along with us on Twitter at Context M Podcast and Facebook at the Context Matters Podcast, as we will be keeping the reactions going all year long, all off season long. I'm Bill, along with David and JMO. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.